Hey, me, Callie Carroll. Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, sunshine. Good morning, sunshine.
Oh, good morning, sunshines. Daily dose of perspective. Good morning, sweet baby sunshines.
Good morning, sunshines. Let's get started.
Riddle me this, you guys. Is the time now, or now is the time? Time is now. Okay, I messed that up. And guess what? It's a live video. I can't start over. Here we are. We're doing this anyways. Good morning, sunshines. I need your help. I need your help. Some of you guys have been like following me for a long time. You can help me. You know what I should do next. And also, it's going to bring light of a conversation. So before we get started, say good morning, sunshine, hashtag GMS. Comment that wherever you're at. And then share with me something, anything that you're grateful for. I'm grateful that all of our like crap in our bronchitis and all the different things, whatever's in our bodies is going away. I slept last night. I think I went to bed at 7:30. I was like, don't look at the clock. Don't look at the clock. Your body's going to be like, what are you doing? Like literally, this is like next level, Cal. But I just did it. I went to bed at 7:30. We didn't get up till 5:30. So, I mean, we did. Like, there was multiple get-ups. Like generally, you guys, so grateful for sleep. I love sleeping. It's so wonderful. All right, what are you grateful for? Comment it, share it, fill up your heart with a little bit of gratitude. And then let's talk about this. So I was at a meeting today with which is why I didn't go live on time. Sorry about that. With a publishing strategist. And I've been talking about this book, not to mention the other books that I've started for the last flipping 5 years. Like my first one, Choose Happy, which I wrote part of. And then I don't know, I think I got my concussion. And then I started writing Live Your Life Like a Toddler as I was having babies in my 40s and be like, oh my gosh, these kids are freaking geniuses. And then I found that somebody else has the exact same title, which is so dumb that I stopped writing it because I could have just like switched the title slightly. Like that's not a deal breaker at all. By the way, there's tons of books written around the same subjects. It's just told from different perspectives in different ways, and it hits people in different ways, and we need to hear it multiple times a lot. And then I started writing about gratitude and this 90-day gratitude practice while Witten was going through everything because it just really connected with me, and y'all were answering the questions anyway. So I was like, why not? So today, and I don't know at what point, like whatever, something like got the ball rolling. I got just the right like marketing text, and I've had a couple meetings with a publishing strategist about like how should I actually do this. Self-publishing strategist, by the way. How do I actually do this? How do I actually get the knowledge that I have from the experience that I've had and the things that I've done into the hands of the people around me and not around me, so I can touch their lives in a positive way? And he asked about the gratitude book specifically, and he's like, what is your intention? I'm like, I want people to have gratitude as such an innate skill set that they naturally go to that throughout the day, and especially when trauma or turmoil hits, their bodies instinctively know how to live and be in a space of gratitude so that they can survive at a better pace or a better way the different things that they're going through. Like that's what I want. I want it to be like such a part of your brain that like bam, you know to dive into this. And I want to provide people with that ability to practice and to show up to life like that. And he's like, great, right? So it was an awesome meeting, by the way. Company seems really cool. And he's walking me through all the different ways that they can support me in self-publishing. And, during this, I know it's a sales session, of course, like that's what they're doing. It's a sales and support. They're trying to get you as a part of their team. And also they're providing like some really cool products, which is sometimes you want to be sold. You want to be sold the right products that are going to help support your life. So we go into this, and one of the things that I'm sharing as we're talking, and he's like, what would be like your inhibitions to not start this or not do this right now? Because it's harder just to publish a book. This is why there's not more authors out there. Everybody wants to be an author. Who out there, who's watching has ever thought about writing a book, thought that they would have a good story to tell, considered writing a book at all? But then you look at the number of people who have actually like produced and published books, is because once you write the book, you're like, what the hell do I do with this? You have to pay someone, or you have to take a million courses to figure out exactly what to do to get it out there, right? Or find the right publisher. So it's a lot. It's a lot of different things. So I'm telling him as we're going through this, I said, well, here's the different things. Like I have a handful of projects that I think would be really cool that I know I'm going to achieve at some point, right? I know that I want to have my published books. I know that I'm going to have my evergreen forum and like programs to support people with moving through and having the tools for having a joyful life. I'm going to have that all updated, I Am Journey, and just perfected as it can be. I know that I'm going to be speaking on stage again. I'm upping my podcast engagement and just having more positive influence. Like these are all different projects that I want to work on. So the question is like, where do I start when I'm in a space of my life where I understand that now is the time? And I'll explain that in a second, right? I'm at a different stage of my life after going through and supporting Whit and John, my youngest child, with his 58 chemo infusions and getting through all of his chemotherapy and still being in a state of knowing that these are incurable diseases that we're going to be watching for the possible comeback over and over again. Like that is unfortunately a thing, but this is what our life is. So I've really been offered this lesson by God to live in the present, to enjoy the moments, to slow down and just be aware of all of the things that are around me so that I can have a fulfilled life, whether it's this small or this big, right? But I do also know that in my servitude and in my goal and in my mission and what God has provided me and the lessons that we've survived through, that I have a lot of things to share. So it's like, how do you balance presence and purpose and passion? How do you balance all of those different things so you can really live your best lives, not only for yourself and the people who are directly with you right there, but also for all of the people who who could be served, who you could serve, right? So as we're talking and I'm sharing all those different things with Matt, and he's, just providing me with like different insight and ideas of why maybe now, why I would want to do things now instead of waiting, why this should be the first project, and all great examples. And felt like, I think how I would be if I was previously like coaching someone, the pain points that I would be talking to in your normal person, like, right? And one of the things he said, and he was, providing me some different quotes, but basically what he was saying is the time is now, right? He didn't use those words, but my response to the words that he said, I was like, I understand I understand what you're saying, where you're coming from. The time is now, but for me as well, now is the time. And what I mean by that is a lot of what I'm doing right now, a lot of self-help and self-growth, a lot of the message and things that people are trying to do is to get you motivated to do something, to take action. They're telling you the time is now. Go out and do that. Like now, yeah, the time is now, like, right? Go out and do whatever you're meant to do. Like, stop saying no, stop being scared, stop worrying about what's going to happen, stop being lazy. Like, the time is now. Go out and do it. It's not going to be easier tomorrow than it is today, so just go out and do it. And I love that message, and I get that message, and I preached that message for a long time, especially when I was building my network marketing business. It was like, you guys, get off your asses. The time is now. Like, why wait? Build this now. And it was all about putting in the effort towards building something that's not the now. And that is an important skill set. You have to have action to have growth in your life. Absolutely. But I don't think what Matt understood is that he was talking to a person where the time is now is not an easy, that's not a difficult thing for me to understand. In fact, when I get passionate about things, you guys have seen me before, like, man, like, is the time ever? Like, the time is now. Go, 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 Cal. And I'll work 18-hour days and dive into things passionately. But what God has recently taught me is that, oh my gosh, did I just mess that up? I might have just messed that up. But what he's taught me, so they always say, like, oh my gosh, okay, now is the time. This made so much more sense in my head. Just follow with me for a second, because you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? People always say, now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time. That's what it is. Remix every single thing that I said. I am not redoing this. Now is the time for you to start taking action. Now is the time. and now is the time to go. Now is the time to build your business. Now is the time. Like, when else is the time going to be? Like, now is the time for you to do it. Now is the time. Insinuating, it's 11/11 on 11/11 Veterans Day right this moment while I'm recording this. So if you didn't celebrate that when you had 11/11 on 11/11, then go ahead and just make a wish. I always just make a wish. I wish to impact millions of people in positive ways, and to be financially receiving of that with ease and joy in massive ways. Yes, you can tell people your wishes, you guys. The more you tell people wishes, the more they're going to come true. Anyways, now is the time. Now is the time to get this done. Now is the time, Cal. And what I said to him is like, but you know what? A lesson that I've learned from God is that the time is now. Oh man, I really butchered this entire conversation. Don't care. Point still here. Time is now, meaning that, like, right now, what time is it, Cal? Just at 11:11. This couldn't be any better or worse. This is great because I was really looking at the time. What time is it, Cal? Now? How about now? Now? 15 minutes later. What time is it, Cal? Now? The time is always now. And getting to live in the present now is a beautiful thing. So what I was trying to explain to Matt, which I have completely butchered for you guys here today, but I'm still going to get the lesson across, is that I understand creating a sense of urgency and saying now is the time, you've got to do it. Why wait another day? But at the same time, recognizing and helping instill into people without encouraging complete like laziness or inaction out of fear or fear of judgment or fear of failure or whatever. The fact that the time is now, meaning don't run from your presence because you're always trying to chase something else, or to live into the future, when right now, like, the time is now. It's always now. Anytime people say, hey, you know what, you got the time? Yeah, it's now. Start answering like that. What time is it now? Because that's the truth, right? So even though, again, I said all of my words on today's video podcast, this is the forum, Cal. This is what you're doing. You're speaking publicly with people right now, and you're using all of the wrong words. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. Your lesson, your takeaway of today's Daily Dose of Perspective with Callie Carroll, revealing that perspective reveals miracles, a lot of the same words, is that as you're going through life, being enough connected to yourself that you can sit back and review those two different statements and figure out how to find your balance that is going to best serve you and your growth and your being, Number one being, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to fill in the blank, meaning get in action, get your butt going, start doing something, pick a project, Cal. What are you going to do? The podcast completely in a different way, your evergreen program, start speaking on stage again, finish your books. What is your, like, now is the time to do that? What is your thing where you really need to and want to take action in recognition that you don't want to lose the second statement of the time is now? Don't lose the second statement of the time is now. I lost the second statement of the time is now for a long time. And yes, did I build an incredible business very rapidly and make a lot of great income? Absolutely. But I lost the statement of the time is now because I was missing the moments. I was missing the presence. And finding your balance between those two things, what a sweet spot. And I'm not explaining how to do it because I'm figuring it out myself right now, you guys. I don't know. I don't exactly know. And this is where I'm asking you, if you have any recommendations, knowing me, knowing my sharing, what interests you most about what I have provided and what I'm doing, like what project would you invest in? Because I know that acknowledging the time is now and my desire to be in present moments and with my children and actively in the moments, that I can't conquer all five at once. I could, but I'm going to lose at the time is now. So now isn't the time for everything, but maybe now is the time for one thing. Is it? Would you be most interested? Do you think it would be starting off by publishing my book? Or do I go back to my I am journey, and what I want to do is revamp all of my evergreen programs to make sure that they are exactly that and able to support a lot of people with skills and tools that are going to support you for a successful life. They're bite-sized lessons where you're going to learn things like gratitude, which is what the book is about. That's like one of the lessons. This is going to be all the lessons in one space, like gratitude, where when life is going well, it's going to go even better. But when shit hits the fan, you're going to be like, you know what? I can survive this because I have my tool belt of how to get through these different things. that sort of evergreen program. So is it the program? Is it the book? Is it reaching out to the other thing? People that are texting me nonstop, like, let's get you on stage again and start speaking. Do I have the time and mobility to start speaking? Or would that just be like through fine tuning podcast formats and things like this? Right? So what would that look like? Or would it just be cleaning up all the shit that I have? All the shit that I have. Final one. All my Right Fit at home workout programs, all of my they're all out there. They're still evergreen. People are buying them. People are doing them. But making sure that everything's comprehensive. My website, CallieCarroll.com. Have you been there lately? It's pretty sloppy, you guys. It needs some revamping. All of those different pieces. Where do I spend my focus? Because now's the time for like something, not the time for all the things, because the time is now and I got experience of things. Okay, welcome to my world and my jacked up tiny little head. Hey, I'm super excited about a project I'm working on. Speaking of projects, it's a co-hosted podcast. And it's going to be badassery at its finest. You guys get ready to not hear me just ramble. You're going to hear two of us ramble. And you're going to love it. I promise. I'm super freaking stoked about this. That's all I'm going to say for today. So, action of the day. Number 1, recognize your time is now. And now is the time. Now is the time to do what? Time is now, being present. And if you have any suggestions, support, ideas, recommendations for me and my next adventure, I'd love to hear it. Because guess what, guys? Having different coaching and like opinions and people pouring into you and like hearing what they think, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to do. Ask people when you're trying to figure out what's next for yourself. It's a great way to grow. All right. I gotta go. My husband's at home thinking I'm still in my meeting. I'm not. I'm talking to you guys. Love you guys. Don't forget, perspective reveals miracles. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, go.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.